Oh, well, hello, all my wonderful, beautiful brothers, wonderful, beautiful brothers, and the wonderful, beautiful nation. I am the Dark, the Shadow of the Maverick, the Dark Shadow Maverick, and this is another What If. What if Naruto was the Mega Prototype? And for those of you that heard that in the beginning of the video, yes, that was the Proto Man whistle, basically. The beginning of Proto Man's theme, the whistle. Like, the doo 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 doo. Anyways, yes. What if Naruto was the Mega Prototype Part 1? Now, you guys might be wondering what exactly do I mean. Well, long story short, basically, this is basically going to be the world of Mega Man Legends, that takes place after Mega Man X, and Mega Man X taking place after, the original Mega Man series. So yeah, basically X2 because not X2, Legends 2 because I believe people were wanting X like not X Legends 3, but never got Legends 3. So I believe like the last Legends game was Legends eh have a tongue Legends 2. So yeah, basically at the end of Legends 2, it's basically starting at the end of Legends 2. However, basically, Legends Mega Man is what I'm going to call him because he's the Mega Man from Mega Man Legends. Basically, one day, whenever they're just chilling out, even though they know that basically humanity's screwed over now because of everything that happened, basically, you know, everybody's strolling about. Since I don't remember what exactly they're called, I don't think I remember. I'm just gonna call them Reploids, like little guys that like replace the humans. Reploids, even though that's like what the robots in Mega Man X are called, I think, like Reploids. Basically, Legends Mega Man would come across one of them, and when they would have something that they believe would be, urgent news, that they had found something. Would look to have been like a scroll, but it would have been underwater, so they would have wondered how it had survived for this long. But that's whenever basically it would start to glow, like whenever the person, the Reploid, had found it, that it was glowing. And, Legends of Mega Man begins to believe that, Newt, basically, Legends of Mega Man would basically just be like, this is interesting. Basically, he would just find what was in the scroll, that it was some sort of time space ability thing that had been locked deep within it. And by opening the scroll, it basically just activated it. And by doing so, basically just undoing all the events of Mega Man Legends that ended up, with the death of all humanity. So basically, undoing all the wrongs that had happened that ended up with the death of all humanity, and creating a new future that is not the future of Mega Man Legends 2, where all humanity is dead. Instead, it's still futuristic, but humanity is not destroyed. Humanity is actually thriving. Yes, unbeknownst to Legends Mega Man and, the others, they just got deleted from freaking existence and replaced with new humans. But that's not all that happened. Because you see, inside that scroll was a jutsu that basically would not only delete this bad ending from happening, but it would recreate everything to be well, basically. Not only that, but well, it would indeed seem like oh boy. Instead of the, you know, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily, we would instead have somewhat of a Doctor of a Hokage, a Yanami Hokage, Dr. Namikaze. Dr. Minato Namikaze. And seeing as, him and his wife, Kushina, well, Kushina doesn't seem to really be, having fertile eggs. So, yeah, it's kind of looking like they won't be able to have children. And that's kind of got Kushina depressed. And so, Minato, being a doctor, scientist, professor person that he is in this reality, he decides to make themselves a kid. And not in the traditional way, but, the usual fashion. He decides to make them a kid in, the way of, science. However, in the day that this actually ends up happening, it's the same day that Kushina, and the whole Masked Man deal happens. So, Kurama is still extracted from Kushina, and seeing as, Minato is not a little baby kid, but the contract seal thing is still put on, Obito, who Minato actually thinks is Madara. Well, not actually. He actually does know that it's not Madara. He just doesn't know who it is. Because in this, Minato is smarter than, canon Minato. So he would have automatically known that Obito was lying out of his ass. He would just not know that it was Obito who was lying. He would know that he was lying, he just wouldn't know who he actually was if he's lying. He wouldn't know who was lying. He would just know that they were lying, whoever they were. That is. So, yeah. Basically, there's comfort in the fact that, the person isn't Madara. But, you know, there's still the fact of, well, who exactly are they going to seal the Nine Tails into? I mean, Kushina can't have the Nine Tails sealed back into her because, well, reasons. And, well, Minato was also a no go because, well, the shit he's going to have to do in order to seal anything at all. So, Minato makes this ultimate decision that Kushina really doesn't like, but also because she just now figured out that it actually happened. She just now figured out about this, newly created son of theirs. She just now figured out about it. Their newly created son. Their newly created son, Naruto, who would have been given, Kushina's birth name in order to hide him from Minato's enemies. Especially since now he's basically going to have the Nine Tails sealed into him. And that's actually going to be the reason, Naruto is going to have, the whole thing, kind of like how Proto Man had, his core malfunctioning, and that's why he had his lifespan cut short. But instead of whatever reason, Proto Man, instead of that a faulty core, instead of that, Naruto's reason is going to be because of the Nine Tails. It's why his lifespan is cut short because of its corrosive chakra. And now he's liking being sealed in a human. Again. For the third time. First Mito, then Kushina, now this kid. Damn. So, yeah. But basically, as Naruto would start to grow up, well, he would be in the orphanage, and Harrison would hope the villagers would be able to see past their hate. But that really wouldn't happen, as on Naruto's 4th birthday, he would be kicked out of the orphanage because the people there just hated him that much that they would kick him out on his 4th birthday. And so later on his 6th birthday, he would have just had enough. He would have just had enough of the villagers' bullshit. And decided to basically get out of this house. He would go Proto Man and just out of this house. Before he did that, he would basically show up at Harrison's, whole thing, basically out of nowhere, and just show up in front of Harrison, and Harrison would be like, uh, Naruto, is that you? But you see, Naruto, the only reason why Harrison would think that it would be Naruto is because he can recognize chakra signatures. And, well, Naruto would actually be decked out in the Proto Man, the classic Proto Man gear. He would even have the Proto Shield. Or something similar to it. And, well, basically, Naruto will just confess to Hiruzen that, well, it is him, but it is also not him. That while they may have known him as Naruto or the demon or whatever they called him or wanted to call him before, he has now decided to change himself to, something new, something to where he is his own person. He is unique. He has his own identity. Well, also being not so unique as there has been another person who has the same name, but still in the same way, no other person in the village has the name. It's just a person before had that name. So, yeah, basically, he would say that he is Blues, and that being Blues makes him Proto Man, the prototype robot master. And then he would just like get out of this house, truly leave Konoha. And Hiruzen would just be, pissed because it's because of these villagers that Naruto decided to leave and even change his name to that of whatever the frick Proto Man is, or Blues, or whatever. And that's whenever he would just hear the whistle. And well, the Ambu Inu, and well, the Ambu Neko, and even the Dragon Ambu and the Weasel Ambu, they would just all inform him that he has to go to the gates, that there's something important there. And whenever Hiruzen would go to the gates, he would see that the guards there had been attacked and knocked completely unconscious, but not killed. They wouldn't be dead, but they would be knocked unconscious. Naruto, or as he is known now, Blues, or more correctly known as Proto Man, would be free. He would be his own person. GLaDOS, the Dark Shaman, Luigi out. Analysis.